UAE and Qatar Central banks mirror the Fed and keep interest rates unchanged. And deal activity in the Middle East and Africa falls 25.7%. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. The central banks of the UAE and Qatar will keep their interest rates unchanged following the lead of the U.S. Federal Reserve, which announced a pause in rate hikes overnight. Central banks across the GCC changed their interest rates in harmony with the Fed's moves as their currencies are pegged to the U.S. dollar. The Fed's decision aligned with market expectations that forecasted a steady rate in light of the recent economic data. Meanwhile, the Fed signaled it expects to make 3 interest rate cuts next year, with Fed Chair Jerome Powell saying he believes they are likely at or near the peak rate for this cycle. This sent Wall Street surging, with the Dow Jones rising 1.4% to an all-time high, topping 37,000 for the first time ever. And Asian markets are mirroring Wall Street this morning, with Hong Kong, Sydney, Seoul, Singapore, Taipei, Manila, and Jakarta all climbing more than 1%. Deal activity in the Middle East and Africa fell 25.7% year-on-year between January and November, according to global data. Globally, deal activity declined 23.6% year-on-year due to macroeconomic challenges and persistent geopolitical tensions. Nearly 49,000 deals, which include M&A, private equity, and venture financing, were concluded from January to November, compared with around 64,000 deals a year ago. Analysts say macro challenges and ongoing geopolitical tensions are significantly influencing sentiment in deal making. The European Union has reached an agreement to reform its electricity market in a bid to reduce dependence on fossil fuels and stabilize consumer prices. Officials say the reform aims to make electricity prices less dependent on volatile fossil fuel prices, shield consumers from price spikes, accelerate the deployment of renewable energies, and improve consumer protection. Discount e-commerce platform Temu is suing rival Shein in a U.S. court, alleging it used mafia-style intimidation to coerce suppliers that also worked with Temu. Temu alleges Shein misused intellectual property legislation to stop merchants and suppliers working with Temu. It claims Shein falsely imprisoned vendors who dealt with Temu by detaining merchant representatives in Shein's offices for many hours, confiscating their devices and threatening them with penalties for doing business with Temu. Both firms have roots in China. And Tesla is recalling over 2 million vehicles in the U.S. and Canada due to risks associated with the autopilot software. The recall affects models across Tesla's portfolio and will be addressed by an over-the-air software remedy, typically performed remotely and not involving a trip to a repair shop. Officials say in cases where vehicle operators misuse Tesla's driver assistance program or fail to recognize when the system won't work well, there may be an increased risk of collision. I'm Ramia Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.